All
Well,
right.
welcome to this Glynn sick edition of Trapped in a Dungeon, episode 3, bro.
Um,
Episode 3.
Episode tree, son, and some spicy shit has been going on, huh?
Yeah,
As of late.
yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah. With
We'll
the
be getting to that later on in the episode for
the
sure, but
yeah
stay
the
tuned for
D and
that.
D OGL news. But I
Yeah,
figured we'd do
buddy.
some of the smaller, quicker topics first before we kind of let that eat up the meat of the time.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, G Fuel. I drink it. It's pretty good. Uh, I got some new flavors the other day.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, I've tried a handful of the flavors, and so they have a new flavor that's getting ready to come out. That's a collaboration with Gundam. That's Ramune Melon. Sounds pretty
Yeah.
good. Something pretty good, and of course it's Gundam, so I gotta get it. But they had when they were doing the pre-orders a collector's box which came with a 20-ounce steel cup with a shaker cup with like Gundam printed all the way around it and stuff. I didn't have the money for it until like a couple weeks ago, and when I went to go pre-order it, it was sold out. So I'm waiting to see if it comes back in stock. I can still
Oh
pre-order
shit.
the flavor, but I went ahead and just ordered some other ones because I need my caffeine, bro. Um,
Yeah.
I got a sour PewDiePie. That one's pretty good.
Oh yeah. I forgot he's been having his own
Yes, he
fucking
said
flavor and
his
everything with
original,
him.
his first flavor, lingonberry, which I had to look up. I had to look up what a lingonberry was because I've tried like that one and before, like a sample pack of it, and I got down to the sour version of it. It's a type of cranberry. That's what it is.
Interesting.
But it's pretty good. The sour one's really good, especially when it's nice and cold. You get that like nice hit of sour flavor. And then I got which this one's all right. It's not the worst flavor I've tried. It's not the. It's kind of in the middle of the flavors I've tried. It's Isaac's Tears, as in Binding of Isaac. Isaac.
Oh
It's
yeah.
white grape pineapple. I wish I had a stronger pineapple. I wish I had more of a pineapple flavor because I like pineapple. But it kind of tastes and smells like Smarties in a way.
It's
Like
weird.
a good way though. Like like when you crack open a fresh bag of Smarties and you kind of get that. Mm, that's that's what the powder smells exactly. It smells like crushed up Smarties. But it's pretty all right. But I definitely
Yeah.
the sour PewDiePie one. That one's pretty good. Hopefully, that Gundam cup gets back in stock because I really want the cup so bad. And
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to sell it separately, so I'm holding off on buying the flavor, the actual like mix, to see if they put the collection box in stock. If they put it separately, then I'll just order both of them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we'll just have to see. Um, I don't know if you
Yeah.
had. I have a couple other little topics that are quick. I don't know if you had any like little topics you wanted to cover.
Uh,
Ugh.
it's kind of not nerd related, but I've been reading the Art of War as of late. Um,
Yeah, I saw you mentioned that.
yeah,
I've
I'm
never.
about like halfway through. It's definitely going to be one of those books that I read through once and then I'm gonna end up going back through it like multiple times.
Yeah, yeah.
But overall, I'm pretty much enjoying it. It's a good read. If anybody out there is a book nerd,
When
but
you said you
yeah,
were
lots of
reading it,
lots of
uh, uh,
uh,
yeah, you go ahead.
oh, yeah. Fuck, I
Uh,
totally just lost it.
okay.
I'm
Well,
fuck.
anyway, what I was going to say is because I meant to mention this when you said you were reading it. There's two other books that are in a similar vein that if you like that, you'd probably like that. I've been wanting to get. One of them, which I have to look up real quick, what his name is. It's called The Book of Five Rings by Miyamoto
Okay.
Musashi. He is a samurai from feudal Japan who is considered. I think he's believed to be have won more duels than anyone else, more one-on-one duels than anyone else ever.
Yeah.
Something. Let's see if I could see if it'll tell me here. Uh, okay, we're down. Let's
Yeah,
see.
because I know there was like a whole like collection, and I think that was in there with the Art of War.
Okay, so his undefeated record is 61 duels. The next person behind him is 33.
Jesus. God damn,
Yeah.
dude.
And actually, he was the inspiration for a movie series, like obviously for like a bunch of movies and characters and like anime and all kinds of stuff. But for like, I have the classic samurai trilogy, which is if you're into like the like 50 samurai movies from Japan, it's like that. It's one of those kind of movies. They're pretty good,
Yeah.
and it goes over some of his duels and like his transition from like a younger character to like learning more like philosophy and other hobbies and stuff. And he's been in a ton, like been adopted into so many like series and things. It's crazy. Um, yeah, the this manga Vagabond is inspired by him. Like, there's so many
Oh,
like things that are all inspired by him. So many video game characters and all types of shit. And then
damn.
the other one is, which I need to get his name too.
Yeah, because
It's called
yeah,
Meditations by Marcus
but it,
Aurelius,
okay.
as in the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's
Got
this book, this like philosophy book that he wrote towards the end of his life. That's like kind of like going over like the things that are like truly important in life and all that type of stuff.
yeah.
And there's a lot of really good shit in it from what I understand. He's known as like one of the five good emperors, and
Oh shit.
what most people might know that name from, if the name sounds familiar, is the movie Gladiator. He's not Joaquin Phoenix, who's like two stabs, uh, what's his name and all that. He's his father.
Yeah.
At the very beginning of the movie, he's the old guy who dies and wants to name what's his name, Gerard Butler as emperor. His character's as
Yeah.
emperor, but he doesn't want to, which is why he says he's perfect to be emperor, because he doesn't want to be emperor and all that.
Mm,
So yeah, those are books that I understand are very good, that are in a very similar vein.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's been one of those books that I was just wanting to read for a long
Me too.
time, and so I mean, it's way thinner
Oh yeah, it's
than I
short.
thought it was. Like
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was gonna be like a thick old fucking book,
No,
but
I
yeah, I
don't
started
think
doing
any
a
of those
little
are. I
bit of
think those are all pretty short books.
yeah. I was looking at Sun Tzu a little bit because I mean he's literally just like the master
Yeah,
strategic
super
war and
famous
everything,
general.
and yeah, and I was like, has this dude even ever like with the fucking knowledge that he had like ever lost like a war or battle? And I looked it up and they were like, no, this dude never fucking lost
Never misses, bro.
single thing. Like he was fucking good at what he did.
Mm-hmm.
Hence why the fucking even all the other countries' military and leaders
Oh
still
yeah.
fucking use the book to this day. Like it's just a really good book, so I recommend it out there for anybody who wants to give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
And it can easily be turned into like little life lessons as well that
Mm-hmm.
you can use throughout your
That's how
daily
those other
life.
ones are. It's all stuff that you could apply to, like, you could apply them to so many things,
Oh yeah.
like just in life in general.
Oh yeah. Easily. But yeah. Um yeah, other than that, I mean just really been kind of just chilling out, watching shitloads of YouTube and everything. Like right now I was watching Team APS. If anybody's ever seen them, they do mainly and about like 90% of their shit's all Yu-Gi-Oh related.
Oh yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah, it's got the Paul, Trell.
I've seen them because of
Yeah.
the professor.
Yeah, they did a couple videos with the professor. They went and took a trip out to his place on like the West Coast or something like that,
Yeah,
and
I don't know, something like that.
yeah, they just did like it was kind of interesting seeing Yu-Gi-Oh players read off like
The magic cards and stuff.
magic cards and shit
Trying
because
to
it
figure out
was
which ones are
like
good.
yeah, and I remember Professor had like a proxy of like I think it's called Time Walk. It's one of the Power Nine,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like you get an additional turn, and they were just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Power Nine is busted as fuck, man. Busted as fuck.
Well, I guess kind of one of the few other things I had before we get to the big D&D topic. So one of them was just a little pet peeve I thought of the other day.
Hmm.
So just for whatever reason the other day, because my knee was hurting or something, I decided to just like take a bath instead of taking a shower. I normally just take a shower, and
Yeah.
I came up. There's a pet peeve that I have. That's just like annoyance that made me think I thought of while doing that. It's when you have to shit while you're like in the taking a bath or in a shower or whatever, because it's like you can't just go hop on the toilet. You gotta like dry off your ass and all that stuff. Because if you don't, you're gonna be
Yeah.
slipping and sliding all over the damn place. It was just a little
Yep.
funny thought that I had. Um, but then
Yeah.
not like actual like news and stuff. Uh, Warhammer stuff. A couple Warhammer things. I have made some purchases. I mean, it's been a couple weeks at this point, but since the last episode, I believe.
Hmm.
One of which is right over your shoulder. Uh,
Right there, right next to Ding Ding and the
yep,
mask.
got you your first squad, so you can start building and painting for Black Templars. But I bought a couple units, couple what might be the last units for a little while, for my army. One of which was part of the way through putting together. Death Company.
Ooh,
A better
shit.
picture. It's five guys. You can either do them as guys with bolt guns, or I'm going to do them kind of like these, with the chain swords and handguns with the jump packs for extra movement. I'm going to
Yeah.
magnetize the packs because they do cost extra points to take them. So in case I want to not use them, I'm gonna magnetize the regular packs so I could just swap them out. Um,
Yeah.
then I got two kind of character units. They're almost kind of the same, honestly, because people do buy one and use it in place of the other. There's a character called Lamartez, Guardian of the Lost. He's a chaplain character, which he's not fully put together. But this is his mini. He's
Oh,
which just all came as like one piece right there. Then he's got a he comes with a jump pack just like theirs that they have.
yeah.
It's very detailed. Um, what did that little paper that I just grabbed? What? Ah, so he's like one of the characters, and I don't know if he's necessarily has benefit. I think he has some benefits for like Death Company, and as a chaplain character on top of that, so he has chaplain abilities and stuff. But they also have another thing that some people use instead of him because technically he's a Forge World resin kit. He's not a regular like, plastic model. So there's another kind of version that's just a generic Blood Angels chaplain with a jump pack, which has like a molded like wing jump pack. See, there's the white background version.
Oh shit.
So it's kind of a very similar
Oh, that's
type
sick.
character. And
Yeah.
I don't think I had him right over here. I think I got him off to the side somewhere else. But and some people actually buy that and use them in place of Lamartez, which is perfect fine. Or you could play them both at the same time. That's just him as your chaplain
Yeah.
and have Lamartez as like a character. Um, that's kind of like the purchase I had. It's kind of all like sort of Death Company themed, all black armor, Blood Angels units. They're all Blood Angels specific units. So
Yeah.
hopefully not too many more weeks I can get all my army finished. We'll see. Um, there were some other news with it. So they've announced new Space Marine army boxes that are going to be coming out soon.
Oh
So
shit.
I don't know if you remember when they had when they did the Christmas boxes. They're like the little over $200 boxes. You get about 1,000 points
Yeah.
almost. They had them for a bunch of different armies. They had two different Space Marine ones. That one was for Imperial Fist, one was for Raven Guard, and the boxes were designed differently. They were kind of the same thing, same kind of size box, came with the same amount of stuff, but it was Imperial Fist one and Black Templar, not Black Templar, Raven Guard. Well, they just announced
Mm.
four more of those kind of boxes. One for the Iron Hands, Salamanders, White Scars, and Ultramarines, all kind of themed towards them. Comes with a couple of their units, mostly generic stuff, but it comes with all kinds of upgrade kits and transfers and stuff. And it's like the White Scars one is very on theme. It's almost all uh, assault bikes and ATVs. They're all on
Oh
bikes and ATVs except for like the White Scars character you get. And like the
damn.
I think it's the Iron Hands one comes with two Redemptor dreadnoughts and a Tech Marine and a character that's also a Tech Marine. Plus there's some regular units. The Salamanders comes and the Ultramarines both come with a bunch of like intercessors and shit and some other stuff. But they're looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Ooh. Um, and some
Yeah.
people sort of theorize that they're going to maybe go through like all the Space Marine legions or something maybe. All right, and I'm back. Okay,
Welcome.
so yeah, so they announced those, and people are speculating they're going to do more of them in the coming months. They haven't put a release date for them, just that they're coming out soon. They also just very shortly ago, a couple days ago, announced. Um, so there's a big event going on in Warhammer right now. And they're going to release the first book. It's like 4 book like campaign books for the end of ninth edition, pretty much. Big event
Yeah.
that's going on, and they announce with it because there's like some special rules for what's called boarding action mission where you're it's all like boarding a ship and fighting inside of a ship type thing, and
Yeah.
they have instead of the regular combat patrols they announced two uh boarding patrol boxes. So these are more like the standard like $140 like size kind of army boxes. With just they just have like a regular Space Marine one, and then they have a
Yeah.
Chaos Marine one, which comes
Oh
with
shit.
around like enough points to play it's like a 500 point game or whatever. And the
Hmm.
Chaos Space Marine one comes with like the main character, Abaddon the Despoiler, and then more than enough like Chaos Marines and Chaos Cultists to like fill out like the rest of your army. But then they also announced for like the normal size battles, another box is going to probably be around the same size as those Christmas boxes. That's like going to be probably be like a $200 box for Chaos Marines that comes with the new Chaos Prince model, and it comes with the it's called the Hell Drake. It's like a demon dragon that they have, and a bunch of other units.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, so that they announced that they got pictures of all of that on their website and stuff. That's all gonna be coming soon. Um, but there have been some 10th edition leaks and rumors. The big one being is that it's believed that the starter box. So every edition they have like a big box that comes out, and there's like different levels of the starter box. Uh,
Yeah.
ninth edition it was just like Space Marines versus Necrons. They believe that this one's going to be, which they're always going to be Space Marines, but this one they believe is going to specifically be Blood Angels versus Tyranids, and that there's going to be new remakes of a lot of the Blood Angels, some of the Blood Angels characters, some of the Blood Angels units,
That would be fucking sick.
which is good because some of them are kind of older models, and like some of the specific ones, like the Sanguinary Guard, which is a kit that I bought not that long ago. I still have to put it together. It's these guys, the
Oh
gold
yeah.
armored with wings and stuff. It is an older model, and kind of looking at some of the designs of them by today's standards of the newer stuff coming out, it's kind of outdated, a little older, and
Hmm.
so that needs an update. There's a commander unit for them called the Sanguinar. He needs one. Uh, Commander Dante. He's like the chapter master of all the Blood Angels. He was one of the big theories that he's going to be getting an upgrade, like a new model. And there was a couple other ones. Let me open up this link real quick. What were the other things? Yeah, new Space Marine Codex, which of course that always is going to come out. Yeah, Blood Angels is going to have Sanguinar, new model, Dante new model, which apparently has been allegedly, according to this leak, has been ready since 2019. The new model for Dante, they just haven't
Holy
come out with
shit.
it. A new Death Company Chaplain, a new Furioso Dreadnought. It's going to be a Redemptor Dreadnought, a new Sanguinary Guard, and a new upgrade sprue. Um, and then Tyranids are going to get some new models and some updates too. Um, and there's also going to be new Primaris or updated Terminator units. So that's the guys that have already painted that are slightly like bigger armor, Space Marines, Jump Death Company, Captain, Sanguinary Priest. There's gonna be all kinds of stuff in this box, so that'll be pretty sweet. Um, yeah, it's kind of all like the Warhammer stuff. But yeah, that'll be pretty cool. And
Oh
they're thinking that's gonna either be later this year or next year is when that's gonna be happening. Because typically they kind of go apparently like four or so. But listen, man, I've been dealing with this fucking whatever the fuck's fucking me up.
yeah.
Uh, Literally because I've been coughing and all that so much. I've been still been going to work. Real quick
God
tangent.
damn.
I just haven't been talking to nobody. I've been standing on my own doing my shit. So this would be the most I've talked in like since like in like a week.
Oh my fucking god.
um, but yeah, so they usually go through like 3 or 4 year periods of editions, and so which is crazy thing. That's about how long it's been since I got into, because I got into it, started getting into it right before ninth edition came out. Is when I started getting into Warhammer, and because of COVID and all that, I haven't played a single fucking game. And 10th editions, we're already on the cusp of 10th edition. uh, which that being said, though, for like you and Michael and Jordan and all that, it still would be a good idea for y'all to go ahead and get y'all's codexes.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
because you're going to, I mean, obviously, though, you will have to use like the updates and stuff on their website and all that from the FAQ and all that. But I mean, they're still going to be valid until a 10th edition version comes out.
Yeah.
The only thing that's gonna really change for you and me is the main Space Marine Codex. That's gonna be like the first one that comes out.
Oh yeah.
That's always the first one that comes out.
The most popular one out there.
Yeah. Also, and because it covers there's so many sub factions of it. That if you combine all of them, it's the biggest. It's the biggest one. It's the poster child
Yeah.
and all that too. But I mean, if Tyranids
Yeah.
come with the box, then that means Tyranids is gonna be right away too. Um.
No. So
So
that'll have Jordan covered then.
yeah. And we could also just play Kill Team like leading up to it. Like that
Yeah.
it's had like points and some rules updates, but there hasn't been a new like the edition that I have the books for and that I bought Michael the books for is the current edition. So we don't gotta worry
Yeah.
about that. There's just been like every couple of months they've been coming out with the new box set with new units and some rule mission updates and stuff, but the
Hmm.
main rules are still the same. It's still the same edition. Well, if you don't have anything to add to that as far as Warhammer, uh
Yeah, no, that's like the first I'm hearing about all of that.
yeah,
Uh,
that's
yeah,
all.
shit, dude, that's gonna be fucking sick though.
Hmm.
Especially if they go through with the Blood Angels and
I
Tyranids.
hope so.
That'd be fucking
Because
sick. Like,
if that is true, then I could maybe convince Jordan to maybe even like split somewhat the price on the box, assuming it's like a $200-300 box. Maybe have him put
yeah,
some money towards it, and then I can give him all the Tyranid stuff, and I can keep all the Space Marine stuff.
yeah,
Because all the time, that's what people always talk about whenever like boxes like that, like the versus boxes come out. Is hey, if it seems like a lot of money, just get a friend and fucking split the shit, split the price and split the
yeah,
shit. Um, let's see. Yeah, so that's basically covers all the Warhammer stuff.
yeah, buddy.
So I guess it's time for the big topic, the D&D open game license.
Yo,
So
apparently,
so I
there's
have
been
a lot of notes on this. So
yeah,
because I did take time in prepping and actually like looking up all the information. So if you want to go ahead and explain it, and then I can kind of any potential corrections, I got the notes for it.
So I haven't looked too deep into it, other than like a couple of YouTube videos that I've watched from people's who are either involved. I found out about it through Moist Critical's video, and then I watched Crit Crab's video, and then I just watched another one. Uh, but pretty much what is happening is people are saying since Hasbro's stock has gone down like 40 fucking percent, they came out and were like, "Hey, we're not monetizing D&D that well because out of like the something however many billions of
Yeah,
dollars
it was like
made,
1.2 to 1.4 billion dollars that it's believed D&D brings in. They've only made like 100 to 150 million dollars,
yeah." And
which would
so they're
be
looking at that as like, like all these content creators out here who are making moolah off of their ideas in our game. Well, we're gonna change that OGL license and start being like, hey, if you make like 750,000 or more a year, or however much from this, we're gonna be taking 20 or 25% of that,
yeah. So
which is gonna hurt Critical Role a lot and a lot of other ones.
it's gonna hurt a lot of people. Some of them maybe not as much as I don't think people. I don't think as much as people think. So because what it is, so originally, the original open game license is pretty much like, hey, if you want to make something for D&D, you don't need to sign no paper, no nothing, no royalties. Just go at it, have at it. That's basically what the
Yeah,
original one was. And the actual like legal document for it, I think he said it's like around 900 words, which is really short for a legal document. The
the new
new,
one's 9,000.
yeah. So
Yeah,
it also is important to note none of this is this is all technically leaks. I mean, it's pretty much
yeah,
all legit. Like, uh, but Dean, like actual D&D and Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro, none of them they haven't said anything yet. The last I
yeah,
saw, as of like right before recording this, which is a few days before set goes up, was that D&D Beyond, which is now partner and kind of owned by D&D and Wizards of the Coast, said that announcement they're going to discuss it soon and come up with information soon. But that was a couple days ago, and still nothing's come out.
yeah,
And that's all. That's all anyone like even the D&D like Twitter account. All they've said about it is they retweeted the D&D Beyond account saying that.
yeah,
So they haven't said nothing. Um, but basically what it is like, yeah. So there's levels to it. So the basic level is first of all, if you're going to do anything for D&D or all that, you have to accept the terms to their license, which that's just how it is. That's how it's always been. Um, you have to let them know what it is you're making, and this is mostly for people who are going to be making like 50K a year or more. And if you do make over 50K, you have to report how much money you made. You don't have to pay
yeah.
nothing. You don't have to pay anything. You just have to report it. And your product has to have a like a creator product badge, like pretty much like a badge that's like, which I don't know if they've said they haven't. No one's clarified if this is going to be like something that they make or that the creator just make their own version of it. Just a badge on the product that basically says that hey, this is a like a creator, not actual official D&D stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and then starting next year, uh, yeah, anyone who makes over $750,000 a year off of whatever their product is that's using the OGL, will have to pay a royalty of 20 to 25%. Which they did say that they know who's making that much money.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's less than 20 companies.
Oh yeah,
So
easily.
which there's thousands of people who are making, if not more, making stuff for D&D. They know that there's like less than 20 parties that are making like a real bank off of it. Um,
Yeah.
this is another one that's kind of crazy. Kickstarter projects.
Yeah.
If it's on Kickstarter, which is their preferred crowdfunding they made a special deal with them. It's 20% royalty, and if you're on any other crowdfunding website, it's 25%. You have royalty you have to pay. One of the crazy things is they can that's going to be in this that they can terminate, change the OGL at any point with only a 30-day notice.
Yep. Yeah, so
Um,
basically pretty much like saying like that 750,000, they don't necessarily have to meet that point. They can change it at any point. So
yeah,
say like you make way less than that, they
they
could,
can
as long
drop
as
it to
they give you
500.
a
They can
30
drop
day
to 250, 100K, whatever.
yeah, as long as they give that 30-day notice, they can just say
Um,
ours.
Now, of course, a lot of people were wondering how are certain big things like Critical Role and all that affected. Well, I haven't seen too much about Critical Role, but from what I understand, over the years they've slowly moved away from the D&D like their official stuff and have
Yeah.
been like even like in the show, like all the stuff, all the ability stuff that they use, they don't use none of the names of it in D&D. They made up their own names for all the spells and everything, and they took out certain
Yeah.
characters and certain things, and so it's completely separated from D&D. It's all original, and that's how like the games have been going. Their campaigns have been going as each one progresses, been moving less and less away, more and more away from it. Which now they're probably just going to go 100%. Which they were probably already planning to do that anyway.
Yeah.
But then the big one, oh yeah, and there was another thing that might be in that OGL that basically says if you make anything under their new open game license, it's like OGL 1.1A or something like that is what they're calling it. Um,
Yeah.
they have the right to use anything you create, even if even if you own the copyright for it, they could use it and sub license it out and all that type of stuff. So that's to me that's the real big dicey thing.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I believe it's mostly Hasbro to blame. I don't think it's Wizard of the Coast
Oh,
wanting to do this.
absolutely.
It's the same thing
Oh
with
yeah.
the Magic the Gathering collector
Yep.
whatever anniversary edition. Like they weren't doing that great. Hasbro wasn't doing that great. They needed to, which I watched a couple minutes of Alpha Investment put up a new video a little earlier, talking about it, and he kind of mentioned how uh that that call or whatever where they mentioned the how they're not profiting off of D&D or whatever it was like enough. That was the fireside chat little thing that they did about the Magic 30th anniversary at the end or something. They mentioned how something about that or some call they did where they were talking about how the company's not, Hasbro's not doing that well.
Yeah.
Which I mean, that makes sense if D&D is allegedly bringing in like over a billion, almost $1.5 billion, and you're barely making a tenth of that, then yeah, okay, that kind of makes sense, and some of the changes make sense, but I think they're overstepping a lot. Like,
They are. Yeah. Like I mean, I can see being like,
I think that percentage is fucking high. I think it should be like 5%, but and like it should be locked in at like I could see it being like 5% and locked in at like 500K, or maybe or even like just a lower amount, and then maybe anyone below that is like if you're like under 100K, you're clear, you don't gotta pay nothing or something like that. But like I don't know, 25% especially coming out of like the Kickstarters and shit. Um, it's all
but
kind of
yeah,
weird.
there were some people that I did see on YouTube that were like, this is just gonna push people away
Mm-hmm.
from your game. Like D&D, I mean, without a doubt, is one of the most popular franchises to ever exist. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, even if you don't play the game, you know exactly what D&D is. Like you know Dungeons and Dragons, you've heard of it, you've at least seen something about it. But he was like, when like nobody ever plays D&D
By
to the
itself.
actual
Yeah.
core of what the
Yeah.
fucking
They don't
game
play
is.
like just D&D. They use something that someone else created mixed in typically.
Yeah,
Whether it's like maps or minis or and he didn't mention this, but I was thinking this like shit. Fucking, I mean, most 90% of the dice out there aren't like D&D dice. It's from this company ChessX that they just make dice. They're a dice manufacturer. That's what they do, and
yeah,
that's the dice that like everybody uses. D&D sells their own like official dice, and they're kind of like nicer dice, but most of the dice I got my bag are from ChessX, bro.
yeah,
um,
yeah,
but the big company that I was curious how this was going to affect was Paizo, the company that created and owns Pathfinder.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, I
So
didn't think about that.
those who don't know, Pathfinder, basically when Dungeons and Dragons went from 3 and 3.5 to 4, a lot of people didn't like fourth edition. Like they thought it sucked.
Yeah.
So these people went and started this company and created Pathfinder in like 2008, which is based off of 3.5, and it's just like kind of a continuation of it. So they there's a couple things. So because I was like because I texted you right before we start recording. There was some big news about the OGL that came out like right before we started recording, and it
Mm-hmm.
was Paizel's response. So like 2 hours before we started
Mm-hmm.
recording, they put out a response. It took me a while to get it because their website crashed because so many people were trying to go to the link. But I did find
Yeah.
like somebody uploaded a video like showing it because they got in like 10 minutes after they got in. Um, so I didn't know this. So Pathfinder Pathfinder First Edition borrows a lot from D&D and he very much utilizes the open game license a lot. Second edition, which is what they're on now, they pretty much completely remove themselves from all the D&D owned things. It's all original. It's their own system. They still publish under the open game license so that other people can publish on top of Pathfinder and add to it because they all believe very much in the open game license. And it turns out so that's like their big belief is that the original game license they believe the game license should not and cannot be revoked because that's what's going to happen when the new one comes in. It
Yeah.
wipes away the original for everything that's already came out, which is crazy. But they don't believe that that should be done, and they said that it was never intended to be changed because the owner of Paizo, the president of the company, the founder of the intellectual law firm that they use,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the major partners that publishes like side stuff, all worked for Wizards of the Coast for D&D at the time that it was created. The
Yep.
owner and the president were both leads of Dungeons and Dragons at Wizards. The founder of the intellectual law firm that they use was an attorney at Wizards of the Coast at the time the OGL was created. And the guy that they partner with all the time that has his own company publishing stuff was the person who originally came up with the idea for the open game license. So what they are doing is they're making their own open they call it an open RPG creative license that the law firm is going to
Mm.
technically own, but no one's going to profit from it, and they're just going to kind of guide over it. And it's going to be uh, basically their own system, which is based off of, I guess, their current system that they're using now, that anybody can sign up and use for free. It's going to be basically the original OGL, but their new version of it. And
Nice.
they partner with a bunch of the other companies that produce like third party stuff for D&D. They're all signed up
Yeah.
together working on it. And they're actually Paizao said that if you go to their website and sign up in they have some form you can fill out if you have a company and you want to make stuff for them with them under their open game license that will like put you in a registry. And if you have like any legal problems or whatever from like D&D or whoever like Wizards of the
Mm.
Coast or Hasbro, they will pay they will pay for their law firm to protect you. And they
Holy
even said that they will if they have to go to court with Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast, they will definitely go to court with them.
damn.
Yeah,
They're like they fucking at
they had a
least somebody
very
doing
very
something.
strong statement about this, which is pretty cool.
Damn.
And I already have Pathfinder Second Edition core rulebook.
I need to get it. I
Yeah,
honestly need it.
they have a
It's
they
a
have a
big old fucking
yeah. Well, it's because it's the player book and D book in 2 and 1.
yeah.
Whereas with D&D separates them. They put it together in one book. I still need to get. Actually, do I have a bestiary? I don't believe I do. No, but I have like a couple of them for third edition. I have like all the third edition D&D books, 3.5 books. So yeah,
God damn.
and of course now the ball's in Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast court to see what they say and do. Um, I mean, not, like I
Fuck.
said, they've never announced or officially said anything. There's not even no one even knows when that new open game license is going to go into effect. They could easily change it now, or I mean, a lot of the damage is already done. So many people, like some of these other companies, like before, like in the over past couple of days, have said that they're going to completely move away from D and stop publishing stuff for them and stuff, and just make their own game systems.
Yeah. Fuck, man. And it really does fucking hurt, dude, because it's like I love Wizards of the Coast, like Magic the
Mm-hmm.
Gathering and D&D. Like I love those fucking franchises. But it just like ever since they got back with fucking Hasbro, it's just been like this
Definitely the
fucking
past couple months.
downhill slope ever since.
Definitely the past couple months the most.
Yeah.
I mean, for a while it seemed like Hasbro was making some decent options because
Oh yeah, like
because
during
with
like the beginning and everything, it
well
was kind of
just like
like,
in
oh,
general
okay.
because they in the past couple of years started this thing called Hasbro Pulse, which is
Mm-hmm.
this website where you could like pre-order and special order, like special made to order, some of their more exclusive like toys and variants of the toys that you won't find in stores. They have like limited collector's editions of shit like this is like one of the more successful things that they've been doing is with Nerf. They have like when Mandalorian was all big and popular because they have the Star Wars toys license. There's a
Yeah.
Mandalorian Ambin rifle, like collector's edition Nerf gun that you go buy on their website. They just came out with the pulse rifle from Aliens. It's a Nerf gun, but it's like and it
Yeah.
has like sound effects and reload numbers and animations and shit. Like,
Yeah.
and they even did some cool Transformers shit recently with like they had a an Optimus Prime that's remote controlled. He can press a button and he transforms by himself. Like they've done some cool shit, and like they even tried bringing back fucking HeroScape. They did a crowdfunding thing for HeroScape. Did it didn't go through nowhere near the amount of backers it needed, unfortunately. I think it's because
Yeah, I was gonna say, like I heard about it and then like
I
I
was so
didn't hear
excited,
anything
man.
about it.
Like I was looking at it, and I was waiting for it to get closer to being funded before I was gonna fucking put my money towards it because this really made a mistake. There was one edition, one pre-order option for the Kickstarter, and it was a fucking $250 box. It came with everything you needed. It came with all kinds of awesome shit. It looked awesome, but they should have had other options, man. That was so much, and they didn't market it enough. But that's a whole other thing. So
Yeah.
I mean, as far as what am I going to continue playing? I mean, it's I don't think this changes the fact of like because like most of the D&D stuff I buy has been official D&D stuff.
Yeah.
I've looked at and considered getting some of like the third party stuff. Not I mean obviously Pathfinder's its own separate thing now, but I think I think if I'm just do what I always did, if they have a new book that really grabs my interest, I'll probably get it.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but I'm definitely gonna probably be looking more at Pathfinder and maybe kind of put start the rumbling. I don't know. I mean, since we all kind of don't live all by each other, we used to. We haven't really been playing, and we've been trying to put together a Discord group for D&D. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think for now, if we're going to play, we all have fifth edition books. So that's probably we're just going to play what we have.
Yeah.
Because I definitely, I mean, obviously it's been happening with you. I've been trying to push the group towards Warhammer, and I think since that's a more expensive thing, it's going to be a bigger get. I'm gonna try and maybe focus on that. And if we want to play D&D, we have all the books. And if we want to try something different, I mean, I have all the 3.5 books. I got the core rule book for Pathfinder Second Edition. Um, I can always get more of
I mean,
their books.
yeah, I mean, there's a couple other tabletop RPGs that I definitely want to get into. Like Pathfinder is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
The next one after that would definitely have to be Vampire the Masquerade, because I have watched some like gameplay of that of like people. I can't remember the name of the fucking studio or the channel, but like they did like their whole like series like LA by Night and everything, and
Mm-hmm.
it was a fucking awesome watch. So that's one I definitely want to get into. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'll still love D&D and
Mm-hmm.
Magic and everything like that. It's one of those that it's like we've been doing it for.
Hmm.
what, 3 4 years now at this point,
Oh,
and
longer
it's
than
kind
that.
of been, yeah.
It's been longer than that.
And, oh yeah, Magic definitely we've been doing a lot
Oh
longer.
yeah, no Magic. Yeah, D&D. We're looking at coming up on shit. I think coming up on 5 years, bro.
That sounds about right. It's been like 4 or 5, yeah.
I have to see
Because we
because
did it
that
on
was
Michael's birthday fucking forever ago, like for the first time.
yeah. I think we might
But
be
I think
coming.
that was like back in 2018 or something like
Yeah,
that.
we did that, and then I think we were playing uh with Yumi, Lurie, JC, and sometimes Ray for like a little while, and then
Yeah.
that we had that one time we played New Year's when Michael first moved to where he's at. Was it where he's at now? No, it was at his last place.
Yeah, that was at the last place.
When he first moved there, we brought in Jordan. So
Yeah.
we've been playing for like at least a year at that point at his
Yeah.
previous place. So it's been like five. Like, it's been a
Yeah.
while.
And it kind of sucked too because I looked back on last year and I was like, fuck, dude, we only played one game of D&D that entire time. And I was like, that fucking sucks.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, and it kind of makes sense because I mean, and like right before that, this past year, because we're getting up on a year of me moving out here. Right before
yeah,
that, you moved out to a little ways away from where everyone lived. I mean, Michael
yeah,
still he's moved, but he's still in the same town, and they're also in the same town. But like we've had job changes, so our times we're available have changed. It's not like it
yeah,
was because I mean my last job. Cause that's kind of the thing. Like every time we play, we always played on. Well, for a long time we used to play on the weekend, but then when Michael's schedule changed, he was working 12s on the weekend, so he changed it to Tuesday when he didn't
yeah,
have when he was off. I was still going to work every day, still going to work that day. Getting home, I would take a shower, grab my stuff, get something to eat, go right over to his place. Sometimes show up late, and then we would play to like 11 o'clock, whatever at night, and then go to work the next day.
yeah,
I can't do that here. I'm too far away. I mean,
yeah. That's
unless we did it on Discord, then I could do it.
yeah. That's the thing, like, because I set up that whole Discord and everything, and I would love, like, even this kind of meta for the YouTube channel. Like, we've even talked about it before, doing, like, even just one shots on the channel and
Mm-hmm.
everything like that. But I mean, I feel like I kind of saw it coming. Like, we would have to eventually move over to doing it on video call or something like that.
Yeah,
Just because, like, getting together, especially now, is
and
10 times harder.
yeah. I mean, now that have my current newer car, I could definitely on the weekends make the drive out there. But then it's okay. It has to be so. It means it has to be a weekend, which means Michael's gonna be working 12s. That's gonna work for me. It has to be the weekend, or I have to take off of work, or a holiday has to come up. I mean, that's kind
Yeah,
of basically it. And same thing with you. You'd have to either take off of work or just hope you're not scheduled that day.
yeah,
Like the last time we all got together, I thought about schedule like us playing D&D, but then like it wasn't sure if you were going to be able to make it. And I was like, it's a lot of work. We're probably just going to play Cards Against Humanity or something. Um,
yeah,
but we'll definitely have to try soon. If I have,
yeah,
I've been thinking about going through reading some of the books that I got, and maybe putting together like a little one shot for just a couple of us, like a smaller group maybe, and maybe we
yeah,
could try and record that and put it up on the channel. We'll see. We'll keep an eye out in the future for that. Um,
yeah. Because I'm definitely like for the last like over a year, I've been just itching to roll fucking dice
mhm.
and fucking
Which,
do the same old bullshit that we usually do.
yeah,
Like,
and I mean we might have to maybe do a couple games not for the channel, just for us, like the group of guys that everyone can play. Um,
yeah.
because definitely the way we play, we're gonna have to fucking change some shit for YouTube, bro.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to do like a sit down and like have a list of shit you can do and shit you cannot do.
Yeah, and make sure, and also to make sure everyone has decent
Especially with a
recording.
couple of people in our group. Like,
Now they have to make sure there's like everyone's got like a decent setup or whatever. Just I mean as good as we got basically, and can guarantee for however long we're going to be playing that there's not a lot of other background distractions and stuff. Um,
yeah,
but we'll work on that off podcast or whatever. Um,
yeah,
but I mean, definitely if we can, we're definitely gonna try and play some Kill Team and some Warhammer. Hopefully not too much longer.
yeah.
I gotta get once I get certain units ready. I mean, I'll be ready pretty soon, and then just gotta get you and Michael, get y'all's guys ready. Um,
Yeah. I need to go ahead and find some fucking glue.
yeah. So,
And I found my hobby set with all the fucking clippers and shit like that. So
mhm.
I was like, fuck yeah, that's a score right there.
So I definitely recommend getting some super glue. Um, I've been using Gorilla Super Glue. It works pretty good. Other than that, I
That's the one that
use
has like the little brush in it, right?
no. That's a squeeze bottle. This is the one with the brush that I use. This is the extra thin cement. I mean, it's like it's
Oh,
like water almost. But this is the one that if the pieces have decent contact with each other, like just decent surface contact with each other, I use that, and you brush it on both sides, and you wait a second, and then put it together, and it melts the plastic together.
yeah,
Some parts you're gonna find this I found with the space, especially with like some of the shoulder pad pieces, depending on arm is uh how the arm is positioned, might not have great contact with it. So then you're gonna want to use like the super glue. Some of the small pieces, like some of the little detail pieces, you're gonna want to use super glue. Just a couple things here and there. Um,
yeah,
Probably use super glue putting them on the bases so they don't come off easily. Because a lot of their bases, they they're not perfectly flat plastic. It's slightly textured, barely, and so that means
hmm
you don't get as good contact with the plastic cement as I would like to. So it's better to use the super glue for that. Um,
yeah,
so you kind of need both, but you can also be fine with just super glue. They make their own super glue that has a very fine tip bottle, which I've been thinking about. Once I run out of that one, maybe getting it. Or apparently, Army Painter makes one that has a brush that's a super glue. Um,
yeah.
just make sure that when you get super glue, it's either like that one and it dries real quick by itself, or it's the kind that has the activator spray and you buy the activator spray. I bought a bottle, uh, this one of a clear Gorilla Super Glue because I like this bottle where it's like squeezes or whatever, and it has a pretty fine tip. This one I need to get an activator spray to use it.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, it just stays liquidy.
Mm,
Um, yeah, and other than that, you just gotta get you a couple brushes and get slopping some paint on it. I mean, definitely, I could definitely recommend looking up Duncan Rhodes, his paint academy on YouTube. He's like considered one of the best Warhammer painters, and he's one
Yeah.
of the best teachers definitely because for a long time until like a year ago or so, he was the official Warhammer like here's the paint tutorial. Oh my god. Hey man, you got enough pixels over there? You went super pixely for a second. Um,
Yeah.
Duncan Rhodes though,
I know. I saw my camera freeze up.
he's considered like one of the best teachers for painting because he used to be the official Warhammer, like for their official tutorials on how to paint models. He was the guy who did them. Now he's all on his own. Now he doesn't work for them no more. But he has some really great videos on how to paint shit. And there's all kinds of people I can send you links for. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but then hopefully pretty soon we could do that. Um, let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything
Hey,
else.
uh, I mean, I did go ahead and order some more like just like a few more cards for the
Okay.
commander deck that I'm building for
Nice.
I don't know if I've talked about it in a
No, I don't
podcast
think you have.
yet, but this is the guy I'm working with, Timurit, the Murder King. He's a one black, one red. He's a very, I guess you could say, budget commander compared to a lot of the other ones.
Mm,
But from what I heard, he's still really fucking good to use. Um, but I just went on MTG Goldfish, found a fucking deck list, and was like, all right, that's around a price range I'm willing to like spend on to
Mm-hmm.
like test the fucking deck out real quick. And yeah, I mean, I've got. Let's see. This is about the stack that I got so far. I'm not sure
Nice.
how many fucking cards in it.
That looks like it's probably like 40 or 50 cards.
Yeah. So about like halfway through building it. I mean, obviously, I mean, once I add the lands to it, it'll be looking more complete and everything, but mainly just going through every now and then and kind of like I'll look at it and tonight I was just like, you know what? The fucking cards are cheap as shit. I'll just
Mm-hmm.
fucking go ahead and order a couple real quick. Yeah, because other than that, all I've got is the one that me and you played, which
Which one?
was from the Midnight Hunt set.
Mm-hmm.
Leonor Autumn Sovereign. I don't know if you can see. It's probably that foil that's fucking it up a
Yeah,
little bit, but
that and it's not
yeah,
super focused on it or whatever.
yeah. But yeah, that one. I think yeah, that was the first commander. First time playing
Mm-hmm.
commander. Yeah,
And I fucking so no,
fucking.
that deck pulled through, but my deck, Primal Instinct or whatever, is one of the pre-builts. Well, I'll definitely have to try it again because I mean, I don't know, man, that was pretty good.
That was
We'll
a
have to
good
see if we'll
fucking
have to
thing.
see if that was a fluke or if it's actually a good deck.
Yeah, because I was really excited. I had the fucking beginning. I
Mm-hmm.
had the early game, but you just fucking kept pumping out shit left and right out of nowhere,
Yeah.
and I had like no board to block that. Yeah, I think he ended up wiping me to like I think you did like 60 fucking points at like the end of the
Some
game or some shit like that.
something
It was
stupid.
something fucking stupid ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that and I want to try getting a Pokemon deck going.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a couple of, like pre-built ones that I'll play with my little sister, and she's gotten pretty good at it.
Mm-hmm.
But I want like a
You want to
fucking
build a good one.
good ass one that I
Yeah.
built.
Yeah. Though for New Year's, Michael and Jordan actually played a couple games real quick. Um, I was fucking under the influence of some things, so I just kind of like zooted out on the couch. Because that was at the end of the night after we had finished playing Cards Community and stuff. But I mean, I have my deck somewhere that I bought and need to learn how to play it and all that eventually. Um, Michael's actually been buying a ton of fucking Pokemon cards recently, getting all kinds of shit.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm down to try and learn to play at some point. Um,
Yeah, it's a very simple card game
hmm
to
It kind
learn.
of seemed like it. I mean, I kind of watched him play for a minute, but I wasn't. I wasn't in a position to
You
really.
weren't you were checked out.
I wasn't really in a position to learn how to play at that point.
Oh
Not, and
yeah,
if
I
they would have taught me, I would not have remembered.
totally understand. Yeah, because yeah, I mean, I think Yu-Gi-Oh! I kind of fell off with a good bit.
Yeah, I mean
Like,
that.
I still love it, don't get me wrong. I still love it and would definitely still put decks together.
Mm,
But
I mean, one thing I bought recently was they finally did those GX Speed Duel boxes, and I bought those and got all the cards I wanted, all my Element the Hero stuff, and I do know a couple things I need to get to make that deck a little bit better. But I mean, I got it pretty good right now. But
yeah.
uh, uh as far as
You know what?
what?
You know what other fucking trading card game? It's the ones that Jordan got us forever ago. Why
By Schwartz, I still
Schwartz?
have my deck. Yeah.
I still have my fucking deck and it's still in the box and everything. And I was
No,
looking at it the other
mine's
day.
opening up. I have one of my boxes of like where I keep my trading cards is like other card games and stuff, just other random shit that I've had over the years, and so it's in there with
Yeah,
that. But yeah, yeah,
yeah,
we need to figure that out at some point too. I don't think
yeah.
George has
Because
any of his anymore.
I don't think he does. I think it's been a while since I've asked him about it, but I'm pretty sure the last time I asked him, I was like, "Hey, how do you play the fucking game?" And he was like, "I don't remember."
Well, what's crazy is so when I first moved out here, I also looked up what game shops were all out here, and I went to like pretty much all of them just to check them out. And one of them, I saw they had a display with like all the different decks for White Schwartz. I was like, yo, have people that come and play this? And he's like, yeah, they actually got a couple people that come like every once in a while and come and play it. There's like some group or whatever that comes. So that they're like the one shop. It's so crazy. It's like the smallest of the shops almost. Uh, they don't really have like a whole lot of like selection of really anything. They have like a little bit of some stuff, but then they just off to the side they have like all the Wash Wars decks, like a dozen, 20 different ones or whatever, something like that. And it was
I think I'm probably just gonna have to go through because I know it came with like a manual and everything on like
yeah,
how to play.
it's got a manual how to play it on it. We'll have to do that. Just do it on our own.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to like just fucking read through the bitch, watch some YouTube
Mm,
videos, and see how it's fucking done. I'm pretty sure these are like out. I'm pretty sure our decks are outdated as fuck. But I mean, I'm sure the rules are still basically the
yeah, it's all the
fucking
same.
same.
Um, I mean, ours are from the same time period, so they would be perfect against each other. Um,
Oh yeah, easily.
well, I guess one more topic to kind of finish off the episode. We're doing a probably it's probably going to be
Absolutely.
closer to the normal length. We're going to try and keep these at like hour and a half or so. Those first two were pretty
Yeah,
long, so we're going to try to keep them a little
yeah,
shorter.
yeah. We
Um,
were sitting there, and I'm like, "Fuck, man, those are." I forgot how long those were.
um, Anime. Got to talk about some anime for a minute. Um,
Ooh.
oh, that darkened my screen a little bit. I actually recently finished a couple things. What did I recently finished? So I'm all caught up with My Hero right now. As of right now, there's how many teens of episode? Oh no no! Click. Episode 14, season 6. Been the season's been really good, and looks like it's gonna continue to be pretty good. There's a lot of big shit happening. It's awesome. Um, finished Mob Psycho 100 season 3.
I
Fantastic.
still need, I still need to watch Mob Psycho. I've never
Yes,
seen a single episode
you
of it.
do. It's really good. Um, Gundam Witch from Mercury.
Mm.
So I kind of mentioned since you and Shannon messaged about this because I saw y'all were both kind of watching it or starting watching it. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but so I wasn't expecting the show to only be like 12 or 13 episodes long. I think it's like 12 episodes. I thought it was gonna be a little longer. Typically, Gundam shows go for like 24 or whatever for a
Yeah.
season, and the tone of the show has been a little more like your typical like high school battle kind of show, a little more lighthearted or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
and I had a feeling that at some point towards the end of the season, I thought the season was gonna be longer, but I thought at some point something was going to happen and it was going to be a tone shift where shit was going to start getting kind of real. And it kind of happened in like it's happened like in a lot of previous shows over the decades with Gundam, where they start off
Yeah.
maybe lighter tone and shit gets real at some point. Shit got pretty real in the last episode, especially which you'll have to stay and watch the post. There is a scene like a short scene right after the credits of the
Yeah.
last episode, and I'm not kidding you. It made me just because it was so tone wise so different from the rest of the show, and kind of like I thought the ending kind of wrapped up and thought it was like done. It made me verbally gasp and put my hands to my mouth and go wide eye for a minute, bro. I was like, oh, like I don't even know. I can't even recreate the noise I made. I'm surprised my dad didn't hear me. He was asleep or whatever in his other room or whatever. I'm surprised he didn't fucking hear me. Like just fucking like freak out hard for a second. Like, bro, you gotta watch it. I'm waiting for Shane to finish it. He's almost done with the show, so he could tell me what happened, how he feels about it. Because he said he had kind of what happened spoiled, but I don't think he had the
Uh,
full thing. He had the main thing that fucking made me gasp spoiled. But there is like a couple seconds after that something gets said or whatever. So I don't want to spoil it for you, but um, other anime. So Vinland Saga season 2 just started.
oh shit.
So it's only there, and actually it's on Netflix, and they're actually doing what they should have always done with their anime, and releasing it as the episodes come out. So the first episode's out. I think the second episode's getting ready to come out in a few days, and I haven't watched it yet because even though I'm very familiar with it, I'm rewatching the first season because it's so fucking good. So I very highly recommend you get on that shit, Gavin.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean, like Mob Psycho's really good, and the seasons are pretty on the shorter side. Let's
Yeah.
see if I can get you some episode numbers real quick.
Yeah.
I
I
think they're
think I
all.
was looking through it the other day, and I think it was like 24 or something episodes.
I think they're all like
I
one
rem-
core or something like that, which is like 12, 13 episodes.
Oh shit. I
Let
might
me
be wrong then.
see.
I was thinking it was like a
Yeah,
little bit longer.
the first season's 12 episodes. Second season's 13 episodes. Third season's 12 episodes. So you got 37 episodes. And
Mm.
there was a special little extra thing with both season 1 and 2, little OVA. Um if I remember correctly, the one for season 1's kind of just like a season 1 recap, but this one for season 2 is like a little special episode or something like that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Um it's all really fucking good. I highly recommend it. But because it's all finished, I would say maybe go ahead and go hop on that Vinland Saga. And
I've heard nothing but good things about it, so
it's all on Netflix right now. That's where they're airing it. So they have season 1 and they're starting season 2.
oh, okay.
Season 1's 24 episodes, I think. I'm already on like season 5. I started it last night. Episode 5, I mean. It's so fucking good, bro. You gotta get on it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of anime
Yeah.
that like have come out recently and I'm like, fuck, I need to get to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been on kind of on like an anime little grind recently, like actually going through and watching some stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think
I had my grind like during like the last few months of last year.
yeah, I
And
mean,
then now I'm kind of like subsiding, taking that little break again, and then I'm probably gonna take back off and watch like shitloads again.
well, here's the thing. So this looking at what's coming out this season, it's a good season to get caught up on stuff that you're behind on because there's not a lot like big stuff unless you like. There's a couple things that are getting second seasons like Don't Toy Me Miss Nagatoro. It's got a second season
Yeah,
going on, and Inspector. Those are some like the bigger shows, but a lot of this other stuff like there is
like over shit.
is it wrong to pick up girls in the dungeon?
Oh man.
Season 4, part 2. But like most of the other stuff is like nothing. Like no one's talking about shit really. Uh, there is a Nier Automata anime that did just start.
I did see that. I did see that. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, other than that, there's not really like much other than Vinland Saga season 2. That's like
Yeah.
the one big thing this season. Way the House Husband does have a second season going on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this season
Yeah.
doesn't really have much. So this would be a good season to get caught up on because there's not going to be a lot of new stuff to add on top of what you're already behind.
Yeah.
So like, and
Yeah.
there were a lot of stuff from last season that was on the shorter side. So like Mob Psycho, that's all 12 episode seasons. Uh, Gundam, that was like a 12 episode season. So that's stuff that you could potentially watch in like a day,
Yeah.
or split it up into like 2 days or whatever, and easily like just breeze through it. Um,
Yeah.
I know I'm definitely gonna rewatch season 1 of Vinland Saga and then get back to that. Then I'm probably I need to get back on um what's it called? I was telling you about it the other day. Golden Kamuy. I need to get back on that. I'm still like the beginning of the second season. Like I need to get back to that. I need to watch the which is that's another one's 13 episodes that just ended. Spy Family Part 2. Um, and there's that's about like the main things. There's a couple other stuff that people have been talking about that I've been wanting to watch for a while. That just haven't got to. But
Yeah.
now is a good time. Such since like right now I'm motivated to watch it. I'm gonna try and get caught up on a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll probably look into it the next day that I'm off and be like, you know what, I'm just gonna sit down and just fucking
Grind it
binge
out.
X amount of episodes of
Mm-hmm.
whatever fucking anime and just fucking go from there.
Mm-hmm. If you like
Because
Did you watch One Punch Man?
I watched like one or two episodes of the
Okay.
first
Well,
season.
I was gonna say if you like that, that's the same guy that did that to Mob Psycho. In my opinion, Mob Psycho's better.
I thought the art style looked
Yeah,
kind of familiar.
especially when it's
Okay.
like the goofy scenes, because just like with the One Punch Man, they sometimes for certain reactions will go to the original creator's original drawings. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you've looked up the original, because originally those were like web manga that he just like doodled himself, and it's literally like shitty doodles. Um, and they sometimes use those for like certain reactions and stuff, and it's really funny. And they do the same thing with Mob Psycho, where they sometimes will go to some of that art, but most of it is in the vein of, but in a newer, better style.
Yeah. Yeah, I know about drawing, shit little doodles and
Yeah.
shit.
Hey, maybe you could be the next one. That's what it goes by, one.
See, like I enjoy drawing, but like there's a point I get impatient where it's like if I'm spending too long on a fucking drawing, I'm just gonna be like,
I
I'm not
mean,
fucking.
hey, the dude who did Bleach just like almost never did backgrounds. Most of his stuff has no background.
Yeah, I think that's the part that kills it for me is doing like background shit because it's like it's just tedious shit for
Oh,
me.
speaking of Bleach, I don't know if this would probably be about one of the last things we talk about. I don't know if I brought it. I don't think I knew about it during when the last episode we recorded, but so that it finished its first season back, 13 episodes. They're going to split it into four parts or whatever. Every couple of months they'll bring it back. Um, the first part of this arc finished, and on my anime list and some of the other websites, it is rated as like it became like it topped everything. It's like the number one anime of all time as far as like user ratings. Like on my anime list, I think it beat out like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, who was the former number one. Is like it's
God,
like slightly rated higher.
wow.
It's I mean it's fucking good. It felt so good watching, dude. It's like a long time Bleach fan. It felt like they did it right. They did it justice.
Yeah, I've heard that like they came back and they're coming back in like full fucking
Oh
force.
yeah,
Like,
like
they
fucking
were
animation's
not
so
holding back.
good
They're like
looking.
either we're doing this shit right or we're not doing it
Thank
like at
God.
all.
Like I can't tell you the goosebumps I was getting when Ichigo's theme. He has this theme from the original anime called Number One, and it's like it's kind of out of tone for like most anime. Like it's like sounds like
Hmm.
it's like this like uh real upbeat like black woman singing this song, and it's like real good. Like, if you feel like number one, it's fucking awesome song. And they brought it back, and dude, when it comes on, bro, it's like hell yeah, fucking singing along and shit, bro. It's awesome.
Hell yeah, dude. Shit. Yeah, I eventually need to make the grind and watch Bleach.
Yeah, I mean, if you want the shorter abridged version, I could definitely tell you what to skip. Um, but I
Yes,
mean,
please.
but it, but that's the thing. It's like if you're enjoying it, then it's like why not watch more of it?
Just
I mean,
watch it.
yeah, I mean, like I will say, like some of it, a lot of their fillers are mid. They're not like the best. They're okay. But that's the thing is like if you like it and you want more of it, I mean, it's there. So it's like
Yeah.
why not? I mean, it definitely will be take like overall will take way less time, like almost half the time just to watch just like the main stuff because there's a couple seasons you could just cut out. But It don't hurt to watch them.
Yeah. I don't know if y'all can hear that.
Maybe a little chuckling.
Maybe a little chuckling. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much all the topics I got. I don't know if you got anything else you want to talk about.
Yeah, no, that was pretty much it. I mean, as soon as I heard about the D&D thing, I was like, that's immediately
Yeah, I knew that
like,
was going to be it. That's why I took the time to actually like look up and get a bunch of notes and stuff.
yeah,
Um,
fuck.
yeah.
Yeah. I think that's really all I got though.
All right. Well, thank everyone
Yep.
for joining us. This will probably be closer to the normal length of what these are going to be like. Uh, Definitely be sure to check out our Castle Crashers. Where after this, we'll be coming out with part 6. It's going to be 8 parts
Yep.
total, so there's coming to the end. So definitely soon we're going to have to record something to take over. Uh, I'm thinking
Yeah.
a way out probably will probably be next. I know we got a
Yeah.
couple other games like I did buy and download those Timberworn games um, on
Oh
PlayStation
yeah.
that were like $1 for both of them or whatever it was. I definitely will say looking at those, I don't think we're definitely going to be able to make like a series out of that. That could be like a
No, it's
video.
just gonna be one of those like we make like a video or two or something like that every now and then.
Yeah, but definitely a way out's definitely near the top of the list to do next. And then there's
Yep.
a couple other games we're looking at that we'll check out and do. Hopefully, unfortunately, it's going to take a little longer than we originally realized for Gavin to get his setup going for recording. But
Unfortunately.
maybe maybe as an alternative, you can maybe start looking at like higher end laptops and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm still gonna go with the PC or desktop. I just think I'm probably not gonna push for the range I was trying to get to.
Yeah, I could definitely. We can talk about this more later. I could definitely help you look up some stuff for more budget options.
Yeah.
For building one. Um, that probably be where you'll have to go.
Yeah.
Just so you can when you at least be able to record like some HD footage, and then we can cut back and
Yeah.
forth. Uh,
Definitely.
yeah, be sure
All
to
right.
like, subscribe, comment, and all the other good stuff. Peace.
Hell yeah.
Check out the links in the description for more.
Follow us there for when we're not uploading.